the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window. I'm Dr. Danny, and today we're psychologically analyzing the show with the longest name in history. We're gonna start with Anna, the distressed main character, and then we're gonna talk about her husband, Douglas, followed by Buell, the mailbox repair guy, and finishing off with Emma. Spoiler alert, the killer. At the very end, I'll give you my theories of the show. So stay until the end, please. Oh, and like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Let's start with Anna. First of all, her daughter died. After which she had a divorce. Her life seems to have crumbled to drinking wine and taking pills. And now there are new neighbors in town. A widower dad and her daughter, Emma. One night, Anna witnesses a murder from the window in the house across the street. And like so, the mystery parody Netflix show starts unfolding. Throughout the episodes, they show her combining alcohol with a class 4 psychotropic. What does this lady have in the first place to be medicated? Well, one thing we know she has is ombrophobia. Ombrophobia originates from the Greek word ombros, meaning storm of rain, and phobos, meaning fear of. Ombrophobia is the fear of rain. And we learned that she acquires this irrational phobia because it was raining the day that her daughter got killed. Phobias are 2 times more common in women than in men. They're most common in kids, especially with a fear of animals or needles and blood. But they can occur at any age, especially if there has been a link to a traumatic event. The first line treatment for phobias is exposure therapy, not drugs, therapy. And just like the name implies, it consists of progressive exposure to the thing that you're afraid of. Drugs can be used on a case-by-case basis, but they have a limited role in the treatment for phobias. If they are used, drugs like Valium, which is diazepam, are commonly used. Valium is under a drug class name of Benzodiazepines, and they act by facilitating the relaxing neurotransmitter GABA to bind to the brain. That's why it's a central nervous system depressor. And guess what medication Anna takes? Yep, it's a benzodiazepine, Clonazepam. And she takes this with alcohol, which also reacts with GABA, the relaxing neurotransmitter. So here she's taking 2 psychoactive substances that slow down the central nervous system, which can be very, very dangerous. The worst and most common danger is that they forget to breathe. The brain normally unconsciously reminds the body to breathe. If the brain is not as active as it should be, the body can forget to breathe. And if you forget to breathe, you die. But this is a Netflix show, and the complication that she presents is a rare one: hallucinations. So the medication might be causing some of the hallucinations, but there's another possible origin of the hallucinations: the grief. People with this diagnosis can sometimes experience auditory and visual hallucinations. If symptoms of grief increase or remain for more than 12 months, according to the DSM-5, it's considered a persistent complex bereavement disorder. And it has grieved her daughter for 3 years now, has yearning for her daughter, has difficulty accepting her loss as she still goes to the school as if she were dropping her off. She also has self-blame. She has difficulty trusting individuals since her death. She feels alone or detached from others, diminished sense of identity, and a reluctance to pursue her own interests. All of these are sections of the DSM-5 criteria that she meets. Bereavement disorder is different from normal grief. Why? Because in normal grief, severe symptoms generally do not last more than 1 year.
Had you on a 50-gram dose of class 4 psychotropic.
When I heard this, I was startled, scared. First, I didn't know what the heck a class 4 psychotropic was, and I still don't. Maybe it's an old type of classification because the ones I know are ATC and NBN classification. And we are not gonna talk about that because trust me, you'll click off. Don't click off, please. Second, psychotropic sounds like it's going to change your personality or something. And 50 grams sounds like a lot. So let's address each one. A psychotropic. What is a psychotropic? It's a substance that affects attention, awareness, and behavior. Yes, it includes psychiatric drugs, but you know what it also includes? Caffeine. So that sweet worm coffee in the morning, it's a psychotropic. Alcohol, nicotine, and marijuana are also psychotropics, but you probably already knew that. Now, let's talk about the dose though. 50 grams of clonazepam. That is an extremely high dose. A lethal dose, deadly. 50 grams. 50 grams is 50,000 milligrams. So let's put that into context. Severely ill, panic, or anxiety disorders can receive up to 4 milligrams. And for severely ill seizures, they receive up to 20 milligrams. So 50,000 milligrams daily is going to kill her. So I don't know, maybe they said this because it's supposed to be a parody, thriller, comedy, but now you get the joke. On a serious note, non-lethal high doses of benzodiazepines can cause her to go into respiratory depression. It can cause dependence, and over time, reduce the efficacy of the medication. This raises many questions about her psychiatrist, which ends up being her own husband, Douglas. The main question though is he dumb? Listen, to become a forensic psychiatrist, you have to have gone through 4 years of undergraduate, 4 years of medical school, 4 years of psychiatry specialty, and a year of forensic subspecialty. My math is correct. That is a lot of years of education. 13 years of education after high school, but yet he gives his own wife the wrong medication, wrong dose, wrong time, and I'm not even gonna get into the ethical issues about him treating his own wife. Anyway, then he says something at the end.
I probably should have just had you on a prescription for Wellbutrin or Zoloft.
What? No, you should have visited to her place and seen who she was as a person. Talk to her like a human being, okay? Now let's talk about the medication. Both Wellbutrin and Zoloft are mainly used as antidepressants. But anyway, that's not the main reason why I think he's dumb. People make mistakes, and in real life, I would not be calling any doctor out like that. I only do it jokingly because it's a show. The real reason why I think this guy is dumb is that he hired his rehabilitated serial killer patient to fix the mailbox.
But we needed someone to fix the mailbox.
It's still not fixed!
What?
Buell. He killed his entire family with a claw hammer. If Netflix comes out with a second season, I'll analyze this to the end because there's more questions in my head than answers that I can provide. It seems like there was some type of child abuse by both his parents, and I wonder if maybe this might have been the reason why he killed them. I don't know. But for now, my theory is that he has autism spectrum disorder. He meets the criteria, but like I said in previous videos, full evaluation is necessary to diagnose someone. You cannot diagnose from seeing someone from afar, but for entertainment and educational purposes, he has autism. Autism is characterized by 2 things: deficit in social contexts and restrictive behaviors. First, the deficits in social context that he meets in the criteria of the DSM-5 are abnormal social approach and failure of normal back and forth conversation. Number 2, poor nonverbal communication. In other words, lack of facial expression and inexpressible body language. Number 3, difficulty making friends. I don't see him anywhere in the show with any friends. Maybe because it's irrelevant to the show, but still. And for the restrictive behaviors, I think you already know what I'm going to say about this. His obsession with the mailbox. He is at it every single day. And the other one, which falls under restrictive behavior, is hyperreactivity to stimuli, meaning that he is indifferent to pain and temperature. He got a nail stuck through his hand. Anyway, autism, you normally think of it as hyperreactivity to stimuli, where the kids feel tags on their shirts, or the texture of their clothes, it bothers them, or they dislike specific sounds, taste, things like that. But hyporeactivity, like for Buell, is also possible. I still can't believe how peacefully and calmly he explained the situation to Anna while he was bleeding out because of that crazy kid, Emma. Maybe she's just evil, pure evil. Common words that you would relate her with are psychopath, sociopath, antisocial, and guess what? They all mean the exact same thing, and they're all wrong. They're wrong because antisocial personality disorder, which is what we were talking about, is a pervasive set of behaviors that violate the rights of others after 18 years old. Before that, it's considered conduct disorder. And does she have a conduct disorder? Yes. Kids with conduct disorder that later develop antisocial personality disorder are the real-life serial killers. They often show no remorse, they violate the rights of others, and have good intelligence but use it for manipulating others. You talk to them and they seem like a normal, regular person. You would never know that they killed someone in such gruesome ways unless you ask them. And when you ask, they might even smile. So, my analysis. I think that after her daughter's death, Anna imagined everything. It's all in her head. Why? For one, her husband is her psychiatrist for years, and she never recognized his voice until he admitted his identity. Number 2, The headstones read something different each time she goes to the cemetery. Number 3, the mailbox is never fixed after years of working on it every single day. These are things that sound like they'd come from a dream, but no way would this happen in real life. And I don't know if this show was meant to be studied and analyzed as much as this, since it's a parody to modern time psychology thrillers, but at least we get to learn from it. And since you made it until this point, I'll reveal to you my 2 theories of the show. Number 1, there are different headstones each time because Anna is less mentally stable than you think. The movie occurs from her perspective, and seeing that the tombstones keep changing reveals the instability of Anna's mental condition. And since it's a parody of modern thrillers, they made them as cheesy as possible. And the second thing, the chicken casserole. It's a recurrent symbol in the show, and it was Elizabeth's favorite food, and I think it represents Elizabeth herself. You see, when people ate the casserole, they had a great time. When Elizabeth was around, everyone had a great time. Repeatedly, the casserole would drop to the floor and go to waste. The repetitive reminder of a waste of potential in a young life that died. Anna constantly reached out into the hot casserole in the oven without any mittens. Likewise, each time she gets stuck thinking about her, it hurts her emotionally. Anyway, that's it. If you liked it, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I recently uploaded an analysis of the movie Encanto if you want to see that. And I'm working on an analysis of SpongeBob, so stay tuned. Peace.